All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. Today is Sunday, April 27th, 2014, and this is the stock trade ideas for the week of April 28th. Today we're going to talk about, I believe it's 7 of them. We're going to start out by reviewing a couple of them from last week and the ones we're in now, and then a couple of new ones. So the first one on the deck is Apache, and we got into Apache on April 16th, right here at 83.76 is where we bought the calls. We got out of half the position on the 23rd as it approached this resistance. My initial target was a little bit higher, but I saw this resistance in here and decided to go ahead and grab some profit. So half of the position, we got 148% return on it. So very happy with that, and we're keeping the second half with a trailing stop. We'll just have to see. Does this pull back to this trend line, or does it continue to push? It's been acting very nice, as have some of the other drillers over the last week. So that's it on Apache. Facebook, we had some puts, and we'd gotten in them here when we got this reversal, and I think we got in them right about here. And then we stopped out here at this 21 SMA. I used that as a trailing stop, and that took us out on this day here. So we had a 40% loss on those puts. So disappointed that we didn't get the down run, but we got caught up in a little bit of sideways trauma in here. So I'm really tempted to go short here again, buy some more puts, but I don't like the fact we've been down 3 big days in here. And so I'm just kind of watching this to see if something further develops. I mean, it very well may gap down, but right now I'm not going to put a play on it. So those were the two that we took action on last week. And then, well, actually we got into a couple others here, so let's go ahead and get into that. First Solar. We got into First Solar on the 23rd, which was Wednesday. So we're a little bit underwater here because we got in at 70.65. The movement above the 10, and now we've turned around and reversed. And I originally was using a 2 ATR stop, which is a pretty big stop initially, but now based on the action that closed below the 10, I've tightened up that stop dramatically. So we'll just have to see if we can get this to turn around or whether it's going to continue down to the downside. So that's it on. And there's not a whole lot of negative divergence I've seen, but we had it. We're getting downsloping action here, but that downsloping action wasn't on a dramatic move to a new high on the price. So that's why I'm saying I'm not seeing negative divergence. So a little bit, that's why I was staying with the bullish scenario, because I thought maybe this thing was going to run and pop to the upside again, and it still may very well do that. So who knows? Well, tighten up the stop. We'll see if we get caught in it or whether this thing turns around. Okay, next one is SFUN. SFUN has not been a whole lot of fun in this trade. We got the entry signal here at the close of this day. So we got in right here at 1420. It kind of opened up a little bit and got in here after the first day. We thought, wow, this is going to go just like we thought. And then it just turned around and it's pulled back down. Now, my 2 ATR stop, based on the initial signal, is right down in here around 12. So I decided to hold that, and I may regret that. I could have tightened it and exited at 13 on Friday, and we'll just see if this plays out or not. Whether 12 hits, if 12 hits, we're going to lose a big chunk. So we're down. So that's a little disappointing. The reason I decided to hold with this initial stop down in here is because of this trend line. And I thought, well, maybe we're getting a pullback to the trend line and then we reverse and go. But you just never know. So that's the way we're sitting on SFUN. Storage technology, or Seagate technology, sorry. Seagate technology, we got in on Friday. Puts at 53.49 is where we bought puts, and they ended up up on the day. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. We'll see. It's broken this trend line. I think we've got a little bit of an A, B, and a C move down, correction action going on here in Seagate. So I think that's what we're watching for, and I'd like to see at least a test down here at the 49 and come down to the 233-day moving average down in here. Okay, that's Seagate. Okay, let's move to Xilinx. Xilinx is another week we got in with puts back here on April 10th at 52.15 was our signal. Had to ride out the little bit of pullback in here, and then we got this big gap down to the downside after earnings, and we're still in. I think we sold half of the position right around in here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it was, and we were up 77% on that first half, and of course the second half we're up dramatically more on them. I'm holding it. We got this head and shoulders target. I think this is a potential head and shoulders. If you draw this neckline here, and you've got a little shoulder, head, and a shoulder, and this projection of this head is down to this target. So if we hit that target, I'm going to exit the second half of the position, and that's going to be real close to the 233-day moving average also. So that's it on that one. And okay, the next, that's it for the current positions, the ones we got in last week and the ones we're still in. And then the new one, two new ones are on 3D systems. 3D systems, I think we're rolling over again. I've not seen negative divergence in here with this move to the downside. It looks like it here, potentially, but not really getting it here on the RSI. And this did not go. This went to a lower low than here. So a little bit of a mixed scenario, and I decided to go ahead and, since it's trending down, went ahead and looking at puts first thing in the morning. Got a signal in here, and again, the details are on the Trade Ideas webpage. So that's what I'm looking at to buy puts on 3D systems. At a minimum, a test of the prior day low. So that's it on 3D, and then the other one is on Goldman Sachs, which we've been in Goldman Sachs and then back out of. I think we're also in a corrective action here. We've come down, hit this trend line, bounced back up. Now got this close back below the 10, and looking for an entry tomorrow morning, slightly below the low here to buy puts. And again, at a minimum, looking at a retest of this low down in here. So that's the idea on Goldman Sachs. I mean, if you look at it, I'm not seeing any on this move down here. Let's look to see if we get divergence, okay? The DI minus went to new highs, okay? The RSI went to new lows in here. There's no negative divergence. Went to new lows with the new lows. Same thing on the demand index. So I'm not seeing any bullish divergence occurring with this move. So as this thing then rolls over, that's why I'm thinking, okay, we're at least going to come back down and retest the low, and maybe that's when we get bullish divergence on a retest of this low down here. So anyway, those are the trade ideas for this week. We'll see what happens. Things are getting tense in Ukraine, and hopefully cooler heads can prevail over there. I mean, nobody wants to see a major war, so nobody wants to see any kind of a war. It doesn't have to be major, minor, it doesn't matter what it is. So anyway, everyone have a great Monday, Tuesday. We'll talk to you Tuesday night. Tweet this, share it with your friends, and subscribe to follow Beyond the Chart if you haven't already. Thanks for stopping in. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart.